Hey folks, welcome to Crypto Heartbeat. Today we're talking about the PulseChain as we always do. As you likely know, I'm super excited about the PulseChain. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a new Ethereum fork. So that's a copy of the code of Ethereum by Richard Hart. He's the one that is the founder of Hex. And I want to tell you about how it works, what's so exciting about it, and why I think it's probably the biggest thing in crypto since Bitcoin. That's a big statement, so I'm very bullish on it. First thing I'll start with is I'm not an expert. I'm just giving commentary and analysis of my perspective on the PulseChain, really to support the community. So I would love it if you'd comment on this video, you'd subscribe, those type of things, because as news comes out, I'm going to cover it here on this channel. So let's get right in. So the PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum, but what makes it so unique is that they're bringing the system state over with it. So what does that mean? And this is probably the biggest deal of it all that I'm not sure everyone understands how big this is going to be. So the system state really includes all of the ERC20s that have been created with smart contracts on top of Ethereum. So for example, there are a number of coins, right? About 10,000 of them that have liquidity that are likely going to come over in the snapshot. So the most practical one is Ether itself. So Ether will be copied over and it will become Pulse, which will be PLS. Obviously, if you're a Hex owner, either liquid or staked, your Hex is going to come over as well. It's actually going to be called Hex on the PulseChain, and it'll be called eHex on the Ethereum mainnet. And so what's really cool about that is you're going to get a copy, and theoretically, you're going to get twice as much value. But that depends on price, and we'll talk about that in a second. But if you think about all of the projects that were started on Ethereum, everything from stable coins to other coins are going to get a copy. What's really unique about this is that it's never been done ever before. And so if you think about this, kind of the joke comment of this is kind of, this is like you are counterfeiting money, but in a totally legal way, right? So you're taking a copy of something that has value on one chain and you're copying it over to the other and saying, hey, you have a copy of this as well. Well, why is Richard Hart doing this and creating PulseChain? Well, honestly, it's because Ethereum hasn't released Ethereum 2.0, in my opinion. If Ethereum actually did what they said they were going to do, they would have a cheaper, faster, better solution. But right now, if you've ever tried to buy anything or do any sort of transactions on the Ethereum mainnet, you know that gas fees are absolutely through the roof. And the London fork didn't solve any of this. And so I think this is just an absolute perfect storm for PulseChain. When you have a network that's built on Ethereum, it's not any different, but it's just cheaper and faster. And they changed the proof of work to proof of stake, which there's a whole lot of benefits to that as well. But the point is, we're going to be talking about pennies versus $50 to $100 for gas fees. That means that so many more people are going to build on top of the Pulse network, right? The PulseChain. And so everything from NFT providers to, it's just going to be so much easier to deploy, be so much cheaper. And so we're going to see all kinds of projects, all sorts of DeFi built on top. And, my prediction is that it is going to exceed Ethereum. It's just going to be better. It's going to essentially be Ethereum 2.0, and it's just going to gobble up all of the value. But because of the system state being carried over, it's going to create probably one of the most interesting things to ever happen in the crypto space. And I love it that Richard Hart's the one doing it because, the elites in crypto don't give him any credit. And what they don't realize is he's about to launch something that's going to be, it's going to eat their lunch, in my opinion. And the reason is this: there's going to be a period, what's called price discovery. And let's say you got a stable coin, I don't know, a good example of a stable coin, let's say Tether, for example. It's pegged to the dollar. Well, the question is, when the PulseChain launches, the mainnet launches, what will be the price of that stable coin? And that's what's really interesting. This idea of legal counterfeiting is, will it have the same peg in price? And if so, it's basically doubled the value. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and I think that that's the big surprise and mystery here. But what the coolest part about this is, and I really want to get this across in this video, is that bringing over the system state means it's an amazing thing, because you're taking all this value and energy and effort that people have put into these projects on top of Ethereum, and you're basically saying, make a choice. And when you make a choice to use something that's cheaper, faster, and better, guess what happens? You have to use Pulse as gas. So the gas fees, the cost of doing transactions, is going to be in Pulse. So owning Pulse is going to be a good thing, just like owning Ether is. And because they're burning 25% of the fees, the gas fees, we're going to see a deflationary model, which is going to only drive price up. And so I'm trying my best to communicate to you what a big deal bringing the system state over with PulseChain is. This is going to be the most incredible experiment in crypto ever, and potentially is going to absolutely dominate. I think we're going to see PulseChain, we're going to see Pulse, we're going to see Hex be so strong against other cryptocurrencies. But at the end of the day, Richard Hart always talks about market cap having zero utility, right? You can't make money on market cap. Well, the market cap, we see this online, that some of the exchanges don't want to recognize the market cap of Hex because there's so many coins. Well, it's really not about market cap. It's obviously about liquidity and volume, but also there's a bottom line: who's using the system. And when you provide something cheaper, faster, and better, it really doesn't matter who's behind it. People use it because it's cheaper, faster, and better, and they want to accomplish their goal. And so at the end of the day, what creates value in crypto is shared value and benefit, and the community that's around that. And I think that the Hex community that Richard Hart has built is one of the most incredible, because it represents, I think, the little guys. It represents folks that are were challenged, and they got on board with something and believed in something that's really tremendously paid off. I think we're going to see that again at a level that we can't even imagine. So to me, this is probably the most exciting project that very, very few people know about. And when it explodes onto the scene, which I think will happen before the end of this year, we're going to see a tremendous panic in many cases of a lot of these folks that are out there. The one tip I will provide is, if you're an Ethereum holder and you're watching this video, you're going to get a copy of Pulse in your wallet, but you're going to have to find it. And you're going to have to find it by changing over your network over to the Pulse network. And you're going to have to move that Ethereum, which is now Pulse, into another account. Because if you wait 30 days and you don't move that Ether, you're going to lose it. When it comes to the other ERC20 coins, they're going to stay. Obviously, copies of, Hex, a copy of your stakes, all those type of things. The other thing that I think is great is that go.hex.com, if you're a Hex holder, is going to work. You're just going to connect your MetaMask with the Pulse network, and you're going to see those coins and that value. All right, couple little things before we sign off here. Number one, I believe that because of the community in Hex, I believe that PHEX, which is really Hex, okay, so follow this, on the Pulse side, Hex, that copy that you get is going to reach par value faster than any other coin. And the reason is because there's so much knowledge, and the community that's going to be the biggest users of the PulseChain network are Hexicans. And so I think we're going to see par value there is, very rapidly. The big question is, how fast does price appreciate with Pulse? And that's the thing I'm really, really curious about. And I mentioned in the last video, and I'll mention here again, what's incredible is I believe that the tokenomics that have been built into this unique system state copy is the fact that it's going to force the weak hands who want to get their value and dump their value because they don't believe in the project, and it's going to flush them out of the system, and it's going to drive up price and value of Pulse. And so this is one of the most exciting things I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's something I don't want to miss. I hope that you're paying attention and you're a part of this. But this is going to be one of the coolest rides in crypto that's ever happened. As you can tell, I'm very bullish. I'm very impressed with Richard Hart and his this latest meetup that he had in Switzerland, and how kind and personable and supportive he was. Truly, he will be the king of crypto. Might take him a while to get that respect, but this is a special thing. And so if you're looking into Pulse, you're looking into Hex, you're looking into what's happening here, understanding that the system state is going to create some dynamics that we've never seen before, and I believe create a massive amount of value. So, hey, I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just somebody like you who's just trying to figure things out. I'd love to have a conversation with you about this, your thoughts, and thanks for watching.